What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. And, I was just thinking the last couple days, about the holidays coming up and, a couple days before Christmas. And, this time of year isn't for everyone. A lot of times, the holidays, get togethers with families are not good times for some people. Some people are stressed out during the holidays. I myself am not a fan of these type of holidays. I'm not a religious person, so I don't have any religious ties to Christmas. I feel like they take these types of holidays and they make them into these commercializations of society. Everything's commercialized and it's all about getting these external things. And I just feel like it stresses people out. People overspend money that they can't afford to spend. It just adds stress. And on top of that, a lot of times people don't have families. So it's a lonelier time for those people. And I can relate to that. For many years I spent many Christmases by myself. Sometimes in cages, sometimes just in an apartment by myself. And I was never a fan of Christmas, man. But now, I have a family, beautiful wife. My life is a lot different now. So, and I appreciate the time with my family, and I appreciate, getting together with friends and having time off work and, just spending time, quality time with loved ones, and I love that, but not everyone is feeling that way. And this is why, when we interact with others, we have to be careful not to take ourselves so seriously and not allowing people's words to dictate how we behave. A lot of times people feel disrespected with how someone might talk to them, and they might lash out in a violent way, or they might, just create what I like to call karmic debt, where you're attached to a moment too long. You have an interaction with someone, and it lasts way longer than it needs to be. And I mean, you carry that moment with you longer than it needs to be. You argue with, say, your wife, and you guys say mean things to each other, and you take that moment with you throughout your day till someone apologizes. And I always feel like it should be myself for the majority of the time if the interaction goes back and forth too much, because I have co-signed in the person that I'm arguing with's negativity. And so if I just don't react and allow them to be disrespectful or whatever, harsh with their words, as I get older, being 51 now, I don't allow people's words to affect me in a negative manner like I used to. I used to constantly let people's words affect me in a negative way. And, I've really worked on that throughout the years to be in more control of my emotions and not have to act like a tough guy and act violent towards someone I'm having an argument with, or even a discussion. I try not to even argue with people anymore, because I know it's not worth, the stress, the high blood pressure, getting angry, just, later on in life, I've learned that I don't need to take myself so seriously, and people aren't going to harm me with their words or even their negative behaviors. If they're not physically touching me, harming me, then I don't need to react in a negative way. And I have realized that over the years, because I used to act in a negative way. And I'll give you an example of what happens when you you are attached to a moment, or you react in a negative way towards someone negatively. And this is a story about someone, a roommate that stole something from another roommate, and it was $120. And that roommate ended up physically attacking the roommate that stole. And at the end of the day, the roommate that stole was in a coma, and the person that put him there ended up being locked up in a cage for 3 years because of that reaction, because that person felt disrespected, because the person stole the $120. Was $120 worth 3 years of that person's life? Of course not. So this is why we have to behave in a manner to be the man that can control themselves, but is capable of great violence, but can control himself during those times. Some people will go, I don't want to be a pussy. I'm not going to let people walk all over me. And that's, to me, a nonsense mindset, because it doesn't solve any problems. All it does is create problems for yourself. An example of that is when someone in traffic cuts you off, flips you off, and you go and follow that person, and you fucking get into a physical altercation with that person. You're trying to look for I forget the word I'm looking for. Validation. You're trying to look for validation from someone you don't even know. And one, you probably don't like them if they flipped you off in traffic and then you flip them back off, and you're going to go and get into a physical altercation because someone you don't even know does something like that to you. So you go and try to get validation by going and beating the shit out of the person, which absolutely makes no sense. And I've been guilty of that many times. And it puts yourself in situations where you can jeopardize your future because you can't check your feelings and you don't have control over your emotions. And at the end of the day, a man that can't control his emotions is weak. If you let somebody else rent space in your head and you allow them to control how you react and your emotional well-being, then you're really weak. Because the mind is the strongest part of our human existence. Our mind is what we battle every day. It's what tells us the narrative that we're not good enough, or I don't need to train today, or I can eat that candy, or I don't have to go to work, or whatever it is, whatever the narrative, it all comes into your mind. And then it's all about processing that and how you react to it, your perspective. And I just feel like when you're out this holiday, and if you have negative interactions with people, don't allow it to create a mindset that reacts in a negative way. And I always look at, I don't know what other people are going through, and no, it doesn't give them an excuse to be negative and to be hurtful with their words. But we also have to understand that we can control our mindset, how we react to these negative situations. And through our perspective, we can find self-growth, and we can have inner peace each day. We're not stressed out. We're not raising our blood pressure. We're not angry over situations that we have no control over. But we can control how we react to them. So anyway, guys, hope you're having a great Friday. Thank you for listening to my Friday rant. And I hope everyone has a great one. Have a great holiday. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. And I really appreciate all the support, guys. And I'll talk to you soon.